Hi, today I've got for review funny, unusual and expensive player from China, Flang or Flang V5. Probably Flang. It is an expensive player, it's built with Saber 9018 and it costs really cheap. It's priced only $200 in the basic configuration or $300 if you purchase it with a dock station, pretty interesting dock station that offers RCA and XLR outputs and remote control. I unfortunately have only player itself, so let me show it to you in more details. Box is simple but pretty stylish. It's black with minimum of polygraphy, simple cardboard, nice box. Inside there was player and everything that all accessories that came with it, but I've already pulled everything out. So here is player and box with different accessories. So with player you will have quality control card, manual, warranty card, screen protector film, 1 ampere charger, clothes to care about it, and an unusual thing that you will have 2 cables. One with connector for the bottom of this player. Actually this cable is for charging only, and second connector with regular micro USB for this side connector. It also can charge player, but also it can give you access to the player's memory. This player has 32 gigabytes of onboard flash, so for $200 it's pretty unusual step. So player itself really big. It's one of the biggest players I've ever seen. By size I think it's comparable with Hi-Fi Man 901, but actually it's not as heavy as you can expect from it. It's of course on heavier side, but there is a lot of plastic, so back panel is made of plastic, for example, as well as side panels, but front panel is aluminium. So actually it's not really heavy, but it has some weight. So there are a lot of different controls and interface. So as you can see, there are 2 outputs. You can use them both simultaneously. It's 3.5mm and 6.3mm. Player gives about 125 milliwatts for 32 ohms load per channel. This is power switch. You can use turn it on and off using switch. I will show it a bit later. Gain and bus boost switch, micro USB to charge and connect to the storage in the player. SPDIF input and SPDIF output. Charging connector. Also this connector can be used to connect to the docks. Micro SD slot, ventilation for the cooling, and lot of buttons on the front panel. Almost every function that this player has is represented by the buttons on the front panel. Also navigation wheel, by the way, pretty nice. It has a well-defined click, so it scrolls easily. Central button that use it for play pause, navigation, back button, and you can see the volume control. It is analog and with numbers here. If we turn it on, it starts, and it's one of the most awful displays I have seen in the players. You can see these big pixels. It's not flickering in real life, of course. It is the effect of the camera. It's not the brightest one, but actually you can, if you cover it with hand, you can see something on the sun. But it actually displays all information, so track resolution, absence or presence of card, play mode, name of the track, position, and so on and so forth. Actually, here is unexpectedly this button doesn't bring you to the menu, it adds to favorites. I don't know why there is home here. So here is menu. It's plain and that simple. So favorites, browse folders, settings and information. All this menus doesn't have a lot of to choose. Screen saving, actually minimalistic. Language, Actually, as you can expect, there are only 2 options here. And firmware update, I didn't see anyone coming yet. Favorites, it is your favorites, and folders allows you to browse all content on your cards or in the player's memory. So as you can see, here is a Cyrillic name. All that is not typically Latinic has this awful font and big spaces. So interface is minimalistic, but actually it does everything that you can expect from it. Player has a good battery, so it has almost 12 hours of playback. I've got 11 hours 50 minutes usually in the tests. Charging takes, I don't know, about 3 hours or so. So minimalistic, big, bulky, but has its some kind of charm actually. And about the sound. Sound of this player is pretty unusual. It has a bit harshness that is common for the saber players, that is not really well prepared, so it's a bit harsh sounding. And also it has, I don't know how to describe it, there is the German phrase Sturm und Drang, so it gives you a lot of pressure, a lot of energy, a lot of pushing, a lot of I don't know, a lot of raw power, but actually not so many details, not so many resolution. Actually it's player with smooth representation, but not as much to become muddy. So it's really unusual sound representation. It's hard even to describe it. So my advice: listen before buy. So bass is pretty aggressive, not the fastest, not the best textures, but aggressive with good impact, good power, and a bit darker sounding. Mids are average by resolution without big soundstage, so actually it's normal but not superb mids. And treble has a hint of harshness, but not much, and treble moved to the second stage. So it is a player for, I don't know, for hard rock, for heavy metal, such styles like this that requires raw power and raw energy. It's absolutely not audiophilic model, not for critical listening, not for classical music and so on. So if you like aggressively sounding player, actually it is an interesting option for you. It has unusual issue like X-Duo X3 model. It plays tracks slowly than they are. It's about 2 or 3% slower, so it gives you some distortions, but they sometimes sound funny. Well, so interesting, unusual device with unusual sound. It's absolutely not, how to say it, not correct, not the lifelike, not the realistic, but it's colored. But it's colored in a nice way. So for some styles and for some genres, this player is absolutely unusual and interesting. But it's not universal, as I've said before. So thank you for attention.